This is the most extreme insulation test that can be imagined. Today, we will test the 4 most common types of insulation in America. We will test how it allows air, water, sound, and how it burns. And the bonus test is broken down. During the test, none of the foams were damaged, and no manufacturer paid us for this experiment. So friends, this is the first part of the experiment. We will now see how the insulation allows air to pass through it. And a very important part of our experiment is Vadim, who plays a crucial role. It is important for each of us to understand this because it involves air exchange, air circulation, and energy efficiency within the home. We have 4 types of insulation here. The first is closed cell foam. This is a fairly dense closed material that is considered the most reliable, but we will see if it is truly reliable. The second is open cell foam. This insulation is used most often in Texas because it offers a good balance of price and quality. Next is the standard fiberglass insulation, which is used in interior walls, but very often people also install it in exterior walls, and we need to see how it performs in exterior walls. And the last example is blow-in insulation, the so-called crumb, which is either blown in or simply laid down, for instance in attics or blown into walls. That is, it consists of very small gradients. We will now check how the 4 types of insulation work under the influence of air. So, we will start blowing with fiberglass insulation. We have attached cellophane bags. The simplest way, look, fiberglass insulation looks like this. It has a cardboard base. This is fiberglass. Pink cotton, as children love to eat cotton candy, but not this. This one is not edible under no circumstances. And now we are going to blow. Let's assume you installed this insulation in the exterior wall. How exactly does it communicate with the air outside and effectively? Oh, it holds air quite well. You see the bag hardly inflate. It does inflate, of course, but oh, if we add more. Oh, the bag inflated. Yes, but it took some effort. Let's think about it again, Vadik. At second speed right away. The bag is inflating. Very cool. That is, we can confidently say that this insulation allows air to pass through, and it does not take much effort for air to flow through it. The next type of insulation is blow-in insulation. You see, it consists of small particles, so we had to create a special material here to hold it in place. But it also allows air to pass through. It's almost like a fabric that lets air through. Or not quickly. No, perhaps sufficiently fast enough. Indeed. I would say that if we compare it to the first fiberglass insulation, it inflates faster and easier. What do you think, friends? Which one inflated faster? Write in the comments and subscribe to our channel. Next is open cell foam insulation. Remember, and we are going to blow right into these areas. It is quite soft. And open cell foam insulation will undergo the same experiment as the previous 2. Okay, we remove the cellophane. We blow. There is practically none. Just a little bit here and there it allows through. But you see, it hardly changes at all. The shape holds, the cellophane stays, which means the foam practically holds air. The last, most important, most powerful and strongest sample is closed cell foam insulation. It is one of the most expensive, Vadim. I strongly believe it seems to me that there are absolutely no air fluctuations at all, whatsoever. That is, look, the center is practically not moving the plastic wrap, meaning it is not moving. This indicates that this foam retains air flows the best and adheres to materials most effectively. So we summarize the air permeability test of the insulation. Number 1 is closed cell foam insulation. It hardly allows any air to pass through. The second is open cell foam insulation. We give it second place. There was a bit of movement with the cellophane. Next is the blow-in insulation. It seemed to me that it holds air worse than all the others. Air passed through it the fastest, so we assign it fourth place. And in third place is fiberglass insulation, the pink stuff, as everyone likes to call it. And Vadim, who was blowing, is in a league of his own. We are currently preparing the next sound test. You know, when you live, especially in apartment complexes, if someone walks above you or in the neighboring apartment, you can hear it, Why does this happen? Because insulation is not perfect, it does not block sound. To prepare for the sound experiment with the soundproofing effect of the insulation, our friends and partners helped us. Boss Horn, come on, let's go. This is a cool tool that can scare the neighbors, rattle a soccer ball, just joke around, or conduct an experiment about insulation. Simply follow the link and you can easily purchase the same tool from Boss Horn online right now. I have prepared a decibel meter that measures decibels. Look, I am speaking right now and it is measuring. Here are my 45-30 decibels. This sound propagates Vadim. Today, he is the horn man, and he will be producing sound now, while I will measure it. So, Vadim, silence. We start with the first insulation. This is fiberglass insulation, pink cotton, start 93. I am saving the screenshot. Let's move on to the next one. This is blow-in insulation, which is typically blown into attics, roofs, or interior walls. If you place this insulation inside the walls, we will now check how well it holds sound. So, let's be quiet. Are you ready? Start. Very good. Excellent. The result is 87 dB. This indicates that this insulation holds sound much better than the first fiberglass insulation. I gently put down the phone, take a deep breath, and press the start button. Then, I stop and wait. So we have a result of approximately 64 decibels. This indicates that open foam insulation holds sound even better. And finally, close foam insulation. We are now placing the phone, pressing start, and entering. Let's see what happens. Here we go. But we have an unexpected effect. It does not hold sound. Look, it has 89 dB. And now, if you have no insulation at all, let's measure how powerful this horn is. Come on, let's go. But it blows at 80. So let's summarize. As much as the technology allowed us, we were able to do this. Our top place in sound insulation is held by open foam insulation. It achieved an effect of 64 dB. Second place goes to blow-in insulation. It achieved a result of 87 dB. This means that it allows slightly less passage than open foam insulation. The third place on our list is taken by close foam insulation. It achieved a result of 83 dB. And the worst result in our experiment is fiberglass insulation. Its result is 93 dB. This means it is practically as if it is not here. The conclusion is that if you want to soundproof your home well, use open foam insulation. It creates the best soundproofing effect in the home, in our opinion. The third experiment. How exactly does insulation allow water to pass through? Let's go quickly. Stop immediately. So, where exactly is our water? Oh, it's not there. The water did not seep through. So we will now add more water around the perimeter of the entire square and water for 5 seconds. Let's go. Stop. Oh, indeed, water has actually started to drip. So we see that water is dripping from the bottom of the container. All the moisture remained inside the fiberglass insulation. It, of course, became completely soaked and started to tear apart. What could this indicate? It suggests that when water and moisture penetrate inside, it will likely retain moisture within itself. Next is blow-in insulation. And we will pour for 5 seconds just like that. Let's go. Stop. First of all, let's see if water is dripping from below. Water is not dripping. But what happened to our material? Yes, it hasn't sagged. Look, it hasn't crumpled. All the water stayed inside, and it absolutely does not allow water to pass through. Listen, I'm starting to love this insulation. How much do we need to pour for it to let water through? Let's pour some. The second, 5 seconds. The third, 5 seconds. The fourth, 5 seconds. I think this is a cool material for magicians as it shows where the water goes. There's no water, guys. Look, there's none. Yes, it has definitely gotten heavier. Oh, finally, after 30 seconds of pouring water, the water started to leak. We currently have about 2 to 3 buckets of water here. We poured for 30 seconds. The fiberglass insulation clumped up immediately. This stuff holds itself together. It even seems like it has glued itself inside, and it held water quite well. Next, open foam insulation. Let's go ahead and start for a moment and observe. Stop. Is it shimmering or sparkling? All right, if we create such an effect, let's make a dip. All right, everyone, it's time for us to get moving and head out to our destination. Let's not delay any further. Please stop. The water is standing right now immediately. Often I have seen that when a hole is made with a finger, water immediately starts to leak. That is, I will say about this insulation. Make sure there are no holes like these because air, moisture, and everything else will pass through them. But it holds moisture and water very well. And the last one, close foam insulation. 5 seconds, we pour water and see what happened. Let's get moving now. We need to stop immediately and take a break to rest and recover our energy. So, yes, it started to shimmer on the outside. Here it holds water completely. And by the way, we can't really pry anything off at all. That is, you see, water stands in all the pores that exist and does not pass inside. This one works the best. Here is Vadim, by the way. Look, he found a cool thing to test how much open foam absorbs water. You see, it can be squeezed like a sponge. Here we have the same effect, meaning it absorbed water. And you can imagine, if you did this in the attic and the roof leaked, blow-in insulation would absorb all the moisture and hold it for a very long time. Whether it's good or bad, I think it's very bad, meaning it will dry poorly. It will clump together and will dry just as poorly and slowly, forming lumps. So the result of the experiment, I give first place to closed foam insulation. It still holds moisture and has hardly leaked anywhere. That is, it's like the bottom of the lake is a very good material. I give second place to open foam insulation. We will share third place between fiberglass and blow-in insulation. Guys, if all the external contours are poorly sealed, it will leak, and it will allow moisture to pass through. This same foam will never allow moisture to pass through. And now the most epic test. We will check how the insulation burns. But for this, safety precautions must be followed. And today, the fire extinguisher man is with us, the fireman. I'll take the hose just in case. I'm scared. Are you scared? Are you scared? I'm very scared. Let's go. First, fiberglass insulation. I will leave. There. It is not burning. It is going out. It is going out. Look. It is not burning. Come on. It goes out. Yes. You see, it doesn't start to burn. In my opinion, this is quite a good effect. To be continued. So that's it. We practically burned it all, you see. Fiberglass insulation works great. I'm satisfied. This is a very good effect, very good insulation. So next, blow-in insulation. Let's go. The film immediately came off. Small pieces fell down immediately. Oh, look, it's burning. Oh my God, there's a smell. Black toxic smoke is coming out. I think we need to put it out. It practically all burned, yes. It got crumpled. Well, it's smoldering, yes, smoldering. But there are some pieces in it that were still burning. Yes, it's unclear. Should we put it out? Yes. We will extinguish it a bit now. The wood has already started to burn. Well, basically it works quite well, yes. So the next type of insulation is open foam insulation. Let's go. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, it catches fire instantly. This one. Super. Listen, I didn't expect that. Open foam insulation burns quite well. The last experiment is closed foam insulation. I'm stepping back. Let's go. Wait. You see, it goes out by itself. Let's do it again. Spins. Fire extinguisher, man. Let's go quickly. Like dominoes, our pieces are ready for evaluation. Now we also want to see how the insulation performed. You see, it has kind of formed a crust on the outside, but inside basically it is fresh. So you can cut it and it turned into, look, some kind of ash, just ash. And inside it is the same, but I like that the ash started to extinguish right away. It burns, then it kind of goes out. Note that the wood caught fire the fastest. That is, the effect of the first ignition is the most significant here, but it extinguished. Here it completely extinguished, and it went out. I was surprised by these two types of insulation. Write in the comments, and let's evaluate together which insulation works best with fire. I decided to do a bonus experiment. I came up with it on the spot. I took this bright orange hammer. And now we will test how each insulation reacts to mechanical impact, just like in the movies. So, fiberglass, it just flew away. She is gone. Blow in insulation, the same thing. That is, it's the crumb that flies away. Open foam insulation. Oh, where is my hammer? It failed. And lastly, closed foam insulation. Look how it holds. Mechanical impact is the best. The best part is that we also broke through it in 3 hits. Well, that's the rigidity of the house. So, we can conclude the mechanical impact. If closed foam insulation is connected to frames of the house, it will provide additional rigidity to the house. Open foam insulation does not provide such additional rigidity because it is easily damaged by mechanical impact. You see, this insulation can literally be punctured with a finger. That's why closed foam insulation provides a rigid effect. It is not very rigid. This does not work on any house structure at all. It is simply insulation that can be placed in interior walls or in attic. Subscribe to the channel, leave comments, and rate the latest experiment.